Oh god, that's so bad. So normally my camera's a little better than that. I don't know why it's so bad. That's probably why people don't freaking watch me stream. I gotta grab a couple things though, and then I can let y'all know what's up, what's been going on, some new things that have been happening. I know I'm terrible at having a schedule and doing things right and doing all that good junk. So here I am. I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just have to stand up and talk to y'all, to be honest, because I was gonna fix some fishing poles, but it just seems like something I really don't want to do at the moment. I hate my hair, so I'm gonna have to go and do a couple things and come back. And I doubt literally anybody's gonna fucking watch this, but whatever. It's a little better, I guess. But why is it so bad? Is there a way that I can fix my camera quality? Because it records way better. I'm not like on my phone or on my laptop. So I'll be right back, motherfuckers. Okay. Got a speaker so I can play some music. I'm sorry. Again, I'll be right back. Not like anybody's fucking watching anyway, so I'll be right back. All right. Let me go grab a hat because I fucking look retarded. Okay. All right, folks. I know nobody's fucking here, but who gives a shit? All right. I'm doing this for me, not for y'all. Got a bunch of questions that I need to ask a game warden. Don't really want to call him. Anybody knows you really don't want to talk to a game warden, but I'm gonna do it for y'all. Okay. I feel like I got some pretty good questions here. If you're keeping multiple limits in the same household, how can you differentiate between the people in the household so that nobody gets in trouble? Right? It's a pretty good question. If I wanted to gift somebody some game or a fish or something like that, how can I do that where I legally caught the fish? That's my fish. I'm choosing to give it to somebody else, right? So how do I do that where when they get pulled over by the game warden, it's not you don't have a license, but you're in possession of game or fish, and I don't want somebody to get in trouble because I'm just trying to be the nice guy, right? So I feel like it's a pretty simple question. How do we do it? And I know they do it. If you have ever watched Lone Star Law, Louisiana State Law, anything like that, Yellowstone, is they all talk about it, right? But I'm specifically down here in Texas, and so I can only talk about Texas things, and that's the thing that I'd really like to focus on. All right. So let me get this number in my phone. All right. I'm just gonna do this right here. So it should be good enough. Yeah, I should have the right thing.
Thank you for contacting your Texas Parks and Wildlife Department Regional Law Enforcement Office located at Northeast Loop 410 in San Antonio. If this is an emergency, please hang up.
It's not an emergency.
Our business hours are Monday through Friday,
9,
8 a.m.
8,
to
yeah.
4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Para español,
Y'all should be
marque
open.
uno. For address and location, press 3.
Don't care about that.
For office hours and payment options, press 4. For general information regarding boats, outboard motors, hunting and fishing licenses, TPWL website and available online transactions, press 5. Please visit www.
I don't want to. Okay. This is not going well. I just need to talk to somebody so I can ask 5 questions. 5 questions I've written down. Speak to a representative.
Invalid entry. Please try
Fuck.
again.
Speak to a representative. It asked me for office
Thank
hours.
you for contacting your Texas Parks and Wildlife Department Regional Law Enforcement Office located at Northeast Loop 410.
Yeah, but it's not an emergency.
Dial 911.
Okay.
Our business hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m.
Yeah.
or 30 p.m.
Yeah.
Para español, marque
It's 8 a.m.
For address and location, press 3. For office hours and payment options,
Speak to a representative.
for general information regarding boats, outboard motors, please visit
I've tried 5 twice. It wants me to just go to the website. Your website doesn't answer these questions. Otherwise, I would have read them off for y'all.
information regarding the sale and purchase of boats and outboard motors, including forms, online boat registration renewals, and hunting and fishing license information.
That doesn't help me. I have questions. A couple of suggestions. How to fight instead of fleeing west.
Thank you for contacting your Texas
Fuck.
Parks and Wildlife Department Regional
Yes, that was a
Law
Hamilton
Enforcement
reference. You're gonna
Office
get it.
located at Northeast Loop 410 in San Antonio. If this
Okay, I'm calling a different one outside of my zone. It's the same state, so it should give me the same answers. I guess you hope, right? It's so hard to just get answers from our government.
Sorry, you have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again.
You ready?
We're sorry.
You ready? I'm going to repeat the number back to you. Number on the phone, 512-389-7800. Number I just picked up, 512-389-4800. 7800. So I missed a button. All right, let me try one more time.
Thank you for calling Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. Our office hours are Monday through Friday,
8
a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah, it's after 8.
Visit us online at
It's after 8.
www.tpwd.texas.gov.
By like 20 minutes, damn it.
English, press 1. If you know the extension of the department you would like to reach, press 1.
Nope.
Otherwise, press 2. Main menu. For state parks, press 1. For boat registration, titling, and boater education, press 2. For recreational and commercial licenses, press 3. For coastal or saltwater fisheries resources, press 4. For inland or freshwater fisheries resources, press 5. For public hunting, wildlife permitting, or wildlife information, press 6.
I guess that can count.
Thank you for calling Texas Parks and Wildlife. You
Please.
have reached the Wildlife Information
I
Desk.
know.
Your call is very important to us.
Apparently it's not, as it's 8:18.
Call will be answered in the order in which it was received. Someone new.
It's 8 a.m. and I'm waiting on hold. They just opened.
Information, this is Brenda. How may I help you?
Hi, ma'am. So I have a YouTube channel down here in Texas, and I just had a couple of questions for Texas Park and Wildlife that I was hoping that maybe you could answer for me a little bit.
What were your questions? I can see if I can help or who I can
For
connect
sure.
you with.
Yes, ma'am. So like we have like some land and a building that is like available to about 5 or 6 of us in our family because it's our whole family that really owns it. It's in a trust. But like when we go hunting doves, we don't want to keep more than 2 days limit out there because if one person's out there, then they'll get in trouble for it. So we're wondering, like, are you able to mark things clearly as other people's like game, even if they're not there?
So you're talking about like if you take 2 days of work that you leave everything else, you leave the birds there?
Yes, ma'am. Then with the second person, so like let's say I go out there, I'm out there for 2 days, I kill my 2-day limit, and I leave my doves in the freezer. If my cousin goes out there, is he gonna get in trouble for those 2-day limit of doves being out there?
Okay. What county are you going to be hunting in?
Bear County.
So let me actually give you the number for the local game warden. He would be able to tell you what's best to do in that situation.
For sure. Yeah, we just figured we're a YouTube channel that we're just trying to teach people, the right way to go about some things, and so I figured I'd be the one to call and ask about these things,
Okay. Let me give you the number for game warden Truth.
For sure.
210
210
213
213
9113.
9113.
Uh-huh.
Yes, ma'am. And then the other question that I really had that I feel like you should be able to answer, if you're fishing in a state park, you're allowed to do that without a license, aren't you, in Texas?
Yeah, as long as that state park is completely, as long as the body water
is enclosed in the park.
is completely surrounded by the state park.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Alrighty. Yes, ma'am. And the same thing goes with private lakes. If you're fishing in a private lake, as long as it's completely enclosed in private land, you don't need a license.
I believe so, but honestly, I'm not too familiar with the fishing regulations
For sure.
outside of the state parks. But I can connect you over with our fisheries team, and they'd be able to verify that for you.
Gotcha. I'll just give the game warden a call in a few hours and see what he has to say about leaving.
Okay.
I would rather us not get in trouble for doing something we think is correct, you know? For sure.
Well, no problem, Karen. Thank you for calling in. You have a good day.
Yes, ma'am. You as well.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Alrighty, bye-bye. All right. Fuck. I don't want to call a game warden, bro. A game warden's the only one that can give me these answers? A game warden's the only one that can give me these answers. Are you kidding me? I'm going to be the only guy in Texas that knows these answers because I'm the only person willing to ask a game warden? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, dude. It should not be I ask Google a question about my state regulations and I get an AI bullshit answer, and then I try to call the game warden office and they're telling me you got to talk to the actual game warden to figure out how you're supposed to store your game because nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And then just what? Just what? I do what I think's correct and I get in trouble now? Or I have to call a game warden and ask him what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing? That's wild. That is wild. I should not have to call a game warden to be able to get this answer, but I'm going to call him. I'm going to call him for y'all. I don't want to fucking talk to a game warden. I don't. I'm about to regret this fucking shit. But I'm going to call him for y'all. All right? I got to get this number down off my phone. We're a YouTube channel that we're just trying to teach people, you know, the right way to go about some things. And so, 213 9113 9113 210 213 9113. Yes, ma'am. Okay. I'm doing the one thing I thought I'd never do in my life. I'm calling a game warden. For y'all. For y'all.
You have reached Texas Game Warden Patrick True, stationed in Bear County, 210-213-9113. Leave me a message, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can always try to text me. Thanks.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more
You ready?
options.
Hello, Officer True. This is Reed Ayers. I have a YouTube channel, and we've been just trying to figure out some answers about a couple things. And the only thing I haven't really gotten like a straight up answer about is essentially we have some land that everybody has access to, you know, like 5 or 6 of my cousins and all that. Like it used to be my grandpa's land, now it's trust land. So everybody has access to it. Everybody's legally allowed to be there. And so our question is, if let's say I kill my 2 days of dove limit, and then I have those 2 days of dove limit in the freezer, if my cousin goes out there, is he like now allowed to still hunt? Or like, is there a way that we can clearly mark those things as like whose they are? And then the other question that I had for our channel was, if I have a fishing license and I catch some game legally, let's say I catch a drum that's within the legal limit of drum, and some guy's walking by and he wants it, how can I legally give that to him where if he gets stopped by police or by game wardens, he's not going to also get a ticket for, having something he's not supposed to have. So if you could just answer those two questions, that'd be absolutely amazing. I feel like your best bet to getting back to me would be to text me. My number is 210-385-9193. It'd be a lot of help just to get a couple answers. We're trying to get people to do things the correct way, and we figured if somebody doesn't know something, then they can't do it the correct way. So we want to be the ones that kind of reach out and ask some questions that people maybe don't always know the answers to and things like that, and just to get an official answer on some of these things. I appreciate it a lot. Again, 210-385-9193. Any contact back would just be greatly appreciated. Thank you. All right. You should call us back eventually. Hopefully send me a text, and then I can call him, and then I'll try to video it. But I would hate to be that guy that's like, hey, you're allowed to do this, this, and that in my state. And then you go do it, and now it's like, oh, that's not legal? Well, so-and-so told me it was, because bullshit on who told you it. It's on you, dude. It's at the end of the day, it's on you. Regardless of whose gun you're shooting, whose pole you're fishing with, where you got the bait, where you're hunting, anything. Doesn't matter. They don't care. All they care about is, are you doing it the correct way? Which is fair. Correct. You should be doing it the correct way. However, I shouldn't have a list of questions that can't even get answered because I can't talk to somebody that knows the answer. This is basic information. Basic information should be, are we allowed to keep multiple limits in a freezer if multiple people are allowed in that freezer? That should be an easy question. An easy question should be, can we fish on private land without a license? Which the answer is yes, by the way, because I already know that. But I'm just asking to be nice. But she didn't know. She knew that you can fish in state waters as long as it's completely encapsulated by the state part. She knew that part. Thank the Lord. But she didn't even know gifting game. Gifting game, number 2 on my list. The top 2 things I needed to know, nobody can answer. How can you have multiple limits? How can you gift game? How do migratory birds, not even considering doves, it's mainly ducks, it's basically just ducks, are not state protected. They're federally protected. You are protected by zones the same way you are in any state. In here in Texas, we got our South Zone, our Central Zone, our North Zone. Okay? I'm in the Central. Cool. I can't hunt outside of these days. Correct. Fuck you, bitch. Get out of here. However, when it's federal, it goes by states. Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, I'm pretty sure are all one. We have a different date than Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, all those. Whole different dates. And then above that, there's a whole different dates. But it's not state. It is not by the state. It's by the federal government. That is why it is $200 for the tax stamp. Because it's federal. It's federal. That's all it comes down to, is it's federal. But she couldn't tell me that. I had to know that shit by myself. From watching other shows and from doing my own research. I know more than the people working in the office at Texas Park and Wildlife. And then even then, I couldn't even talk to my county. I called my county. They did not answer me. I had to go to another county. They had to transfer me to somebody else. That person still didn't answer me. but we're supposed to get answers. And we're supposed to do things the correct way. And don't get me wrong, I love Texas Park and Wildlife. I think they're the greatest government entity that has ever been around. Ever. I honestly don't think you can name me one that's been better. But the fact that I can't talk to my representatives is wild. Especially in Texas. We're supposed to be a fucking republic out of all things. And here I am talking to fucking nobody because I can't get an answer on a phone. I can't even tell you. As much as I want to be the great helpful guy. Hey, here's what you do if you have blah, blah, blah. No, I can't even do that. I'd love to be able to tell you, hey, if you're fishing in Texas, after it hits midnight, you're allowed to take your fish to the cooler in your truck, and you're allowed to fish for the next day's game. Because that's technically what's allowed to happen. But I can't even ask a fucking game warden if they would allow that. I can only go off of what I've seen, which they do allow it, but all it takes is the one guy that doesn't allow it. And I can't even get an answer. I can't even get an answer. That's wild. I'm literally trying to figure this shit out for everybody, and I can't get an answer. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. That was my whole plan. I thought I was gonna have a whole ass conversation with the game warden, and that shit ain't happening. And literally nobody, not one person's coming to this live. I lose control when you're not next to me. I'm falling apart, baby, can't you see? Problematic. Problem is, I want your body like a fiend, like a bad habit. So yeah, I just need text back from this motherfucker. That shit actually pissed me off. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. That shit actually made me mad. Problematic. Problem is, I want your body like a fiend, like a bad habit. Fuck you, bitch. That ain't it. Baby, can't you see? Problematic. Problem is, I want your body like a fiend, like a bad habit. And it's something sweet and cuts on me. I'm falling apart, baby, can't you see? Okay. I hate game wardens, dude. I love them. I love what they do. I hate interacting with them because it's just like officers. You never know when you're going to talk yourself into some fucking trouble, you know? So I just say, hello, game warden, true. I have a YouTube channel. I just want to ask about some clarifications on how we're allowed to keep some dove limit. For example, the keeping limit is 2 days. So if I kill 30 dove over 2 days and then keep them in the freezer, and then if my cousin comes and hunts that land, will he get in trouble for that limit being in there, even though we all have access to it? We are just trying to teach people the right way about going about things here in Texas. So any knowledge that we can spread would help. So that's funny. He told me you should download our app. I've got it. I've got it, dude. I looked on the app. That's why I'm asking you these questions. It's because I looked on the app and it's not there. It's not there. Texas Department, outdoor annual. Yep, it's already downloaded on my phone. So yes, the answer is yes. Yes, if you catch a fish legally, you're allowed to gift it to just about anybody you want to. And as long as you fill out the wildlife form, which I'm about to figure out what that form is, he's texting me still right now, then you're allowed to give it away. Don't do it. If you don't have the form, fucking don't do it. You're gonna cause somebody like $1,000 fine. It's not fun. It's not fun. You lose your license for X amount of years. You got to go through all these classes. You got to pay fines. You got to go tell the judge, I'm sorry. You got to pay restitutions for the fish that was taken. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just do it right. Just do it right. So as you can see, he's still typing me back. But he says you can read about a wildlife resource document, and I believe there might be an example of one in there. So if I had to guess, they're called wildlife resource documents, and you have to look that up and fill one out. I'm sure you can do everything online now. You'd probably have to get their ID and say what their name is, and maybe the driver's license number and things like that. But I'm sure that's what it's called. I've for sure seen it. I promise you, I've for sure seen it. I'm not making a joke. You can, as long as you have a license, you can legally gift a fish or game or anything to anybody. As long as you tag it correctly, if you need to tag it, and as long as you fill out the document. And you have to. You don't want your boy getting $1,000 fine because you did something stupid. And that's kind of the whole point why I'm trying to make this video right now is I don't want anybody giving their friends something stupid and getting some people into trouble when they don't even know about it.